Michelle Cicely Tyson is a home dog. He tutti fruity, don't go kick his booty. Oh, baby.
Welcome to a Boxing World recap. On today's video, we're going to revisit the two-fight saga between Mike Tyson and Mitch Blood Green. This beef went beyond the rules of the ring as these two heavyweights got into it on the streets of New York.
Who threw the first punch here?
He did. He sucker punched me because he's with his friends.
So, let's get right into this.
Mike Tyson loves to fight. He don't care if it's in the ring or out the ring.
When Mike Tyson faced former heavyweight contender James Quick Tillis in his 20th professional match,
Tyson in the black trunks and James Quick Tillis in the white.
He was 19 years old and unbeaten.
Here comes 19-year-old Mike Tyson as he emerges from his locker room.
Tillis had lost 4 of his previous 5 fights and entered the match as a heavy underdog.
28-year-old James Quick Tillis of Tulsa, Oklahoma, 31 wins, 8 losses, 24 knockouts, now unranked.
Whereas Tyson had won all 19 of his prior fights by knockout in the first 3 rounds.
Mike Tyson now 19-0, 19 knockouts.
Tillis, however, put on a valiant effort and managed to force Tyson to go a full 10 rounds for the first fight in his professional career. Tyson ultimately won by unanimous decision.
Here is the official scoring. Judge Tony Moritz scores it 8 rounds to 2. The winner by the end of this decision is still undefeated, Mike Tyson.
Suddenly, the whole world thought that they could get a shot at the young champion after they saw Tillis go a whole 10 rounds with him.
Tyson, if you know it, you hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Mitch Green immediately started putting out videos flexing his muscles and saying he'd knock out Tyson.
Michelle Cicely Tyson is a home dog. He tutti fruity, don't go kick his booty. Oh, baby.
These videos started to make rounds in the media, and it was enough to get him his match against Mike Tyson. Only 4 days later, it was revealed that Tyson would be fighting Mitch Blood Green next, on May 20th in Madison Square Garden. Growing up on the rough streets of Detroit, Mitch Green was a significant player in 1970s New York gang warfare. At the age of 17, he'd witnessed his father lose his life in a weird Western-style rapid draw shootout, not long before getting shot twice himself. He said, "I was shot twice when I was 17, but it had to have been the will of God that I wasn't hurt." Green was shot for the first time with a .22 Magnum. The bullet went through his right wrist, missing arteries, bones, and nerves, and Green was back on the streets a few weeks later. He got a grazed wound the second time when a slug slit the right side of his skull, leaving a slight puffy scar. Ironically, it was the gunfights that led Green to less lethal boxing. Green attempted to leave the gang life behind, so he enrolled in the UBA boxing gym in New York. But at this point, his connections to the streets were too strong, and the NYPD now referred to him as the King of New York street gangs for his leadership of the lethal street gang. Then things began to take a turn for Mitch's reputation as he began to be well known for his success in the ring.
From the Bronx, New York, undefeated in 5 professional bouts with 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Mitch Blood Green.
He won the New York Golden Gloves 4 times as an amateur in 1976, 77, 79, and 80. With a 64-7 record with 51 knockout victories.
So Mitch Green has won by unanimous decision.
Green won the 1977, 79, and 80 heavyweight open championships. In addition to the 1976 sub-novice heavyweight championship, Green won the 1976 title by defeating Anthony Zampelli.
Too many guys in this town that would mess with you, my man.
Well, I don't know. The more that talented, the more fights I can get, the better I get. Just can't learn that without.
Green won the title by defeating Guy Castle in 1977, won the title in 79 by defeating Ralph Fucci, and in 80 by winning against Merlin Castellanos. In the 1978 tournament, he lost a crucial cut and was unable to capture a 5th Golden Gloves title. At the time Tyson and Green met, both of them were enjoying good success in their careers, and Green's trash talk helped fuel the intensity for this match.
I want to fight Mike Tyson. Michelle Tyson, you're a sissy, you're not a true champion.
Green was ranked 1 spot higher than Tyson in the WBC heavyweight rankings. Despite Green being ranked higher than Tyson, the fighters' purses were drastically different. Because of this, Green threatened to quit the match just 1 day prior to the scheduled event if his payout wasn't adjusted. Eventually, Green decided to go ahead with the fight after HBO executive Ross Greenberg told him that a shot at the WBC heavyweight title was on the line. When the match day came, it lived up to all the hype that had been built up before the day. Tyson had the upper hand for the majority of the fight, but he was unable to knock Green out. Green repeatedly clinched Tyson in an effort to lessen the potency of Tyson's power punches.
And shots to the body.
In a foreshadowing of future Tyson battles, most notably his championship matches that following year against Tony Tucker and James Bone Crusher Smith. But Green's offensive contributions were limited, and Tyson was able to win with a resounding unanimous decision by 2 scores of 9-1 and 1 score of 8-2.
For his 21st straight win and his many fights, Mike Tyson.
But their heated rivalry escalated only 2 years later when they clashed in an early morning street fight. Only 2 years later, when they fought in the early hours of the morning, did their bitter rivalry reach new heights. Having already accused Tyson's promoter Don King of underpaying him and wanting a lucrative second fight that he was unlikely to get, inside the ropes at least, Green was already enraged with Tyson. Green, however, had another reason for confronting Tyson in August 1988. He was a member of the infamous New York Gang and thought Tyson's entry into his turf in the early morning hours was a freedom he could not allow without losing face. Tyson was in Harlem to buy a white leather jacket at Dapper Dan's. At this time, Green, who was aware of Tyson's presence, stormed into the store without a shirt and started hurling insults at his sworn enemy. Tyson claims that Green ripped his shirt pocket, which prompted him to retaliate.
He was just talking a lot, and I really thought he was grabbing from my pocket and trying to pull my pockets out, because if he ripped my pocket, all the money will fall. But I won't have a chance to get my money. I have to fight this cat, right? And then my money's to the wolves. So anyway, that's when I just started punching him.
According to Green, Tyson sucker punched him after turning his rings around so as not to damage him.
Who threw the first punch here?
He did. He sucker punched me, because he's with his friends, you know, and when he hit me, and I said I couldn't get a chance to get to him like I wanted, because everybody was like pulling me, you know, holding me, like so he could get away from me.
But it's undeniable that Tyson got the initial punch in, and then he added several more. The street fight further fueled rumors that Tyson was losing control outside of the boxing ring. 2 months before, Tyson had given the performance of his career by defeating two-weight world champion Mike Sprinks in just 91 seconds.
Down he goes. I don't think you get up from this. One of the fastest knockouts in heavyweight history. It came at 131.
9 years after the fight outside Dapper Dan's in 1997, Green sued Tyson for $25 million in an attempt to get his revenge. Green, however, was ultimately only given $45,000 in court, which wasn't even enough to pay for his legal fees. Green reportedly left the courthouse shouting, "I'm the winner, I whooped him." Tyson was certainly never knocked out by Green in the ring or in the streets. However, Green made his mark on Tyson's career by irritating him for 10 rounds in Kid Dynamite's debut at MSG, and then delaying his title defense against Bruno. As a result, their names will forever be linked in a weird footnote in the history of heavyweight boxing. So what'd you think about this unprecedented brawl? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments section below, and of course, if you felt it, please like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next one.